This is the Self-Aware Leader Podcast. Now your host, Jason Rigby.
What's going on, guys? Just got done doing rowing machine in the sauna. So it's already hot outside, so it wasn't too bad. I just do it at like 1:30, which is still pretty hot. It's very miserable. I sweat a lot. And the last 5 minutes is absolutely ridiculous. But I do it for a reason. And I think this is why I've learned to embrace the physical side of working out, 5, 6, 7 times a week. And if you would have asked me that, I was 40 pounds heavier and I just worked all the time, sat in my office and, ate whatever food was available or what are we going to get for lunch, that type of thing. But I've changed dramatically, and I think it's because of understanding the freedom in discipline. And let me break it down a little bit more. A lot of people think that freedom is having comfort, having everything paid for, not have to worry about a single thing, and life is just provided for you. And we've all seen the cartoon Wall-E, and we've seen those people like monstrally obese, just sliding around, being entertained all day long, laying down, and just eating milkshakes. And I think, would you be happy? No. I know I wouldn't, and I know a lot of us, we wouldn't. And whether it's evolution psychology, whatever it may be, I know I'm the most jazzed. Like, I get the most excited and pumped up whenever I have something hard to do that I'm passionate about. It's hard to do, and I'm passionate about it, and I get it done. Or I'm not that passionate about it, it's hard to do, but I have to do it, and I do it to try to hold myself accountable, and then afterwards I feel super excited and pumped. There's something euphoric about that. There's something about our brain getting super excited when we accomplish hard things. And so for me, if that's the reality, if logically I don't want everything given to me, and I know I need to work hard for me to be happy and successful, and mentally the weak part of me, the ego, the one that's seeking comfort all the time, is telling me, go have that Krispy Kreme donut, binge watch this show for 10 hours. And I'm saying anything of those things are bad. I have donuts occasionally, and I take the time. I've been binge watching Ted Lasso. I haven't watched it. This is the first time. It's amazing. I love it. It's a really good, positive show. Just really appreciate it. But I take and make the time for that where I earn it. Like right now, I'm doing this podcast before I eat lunch, even though I'm starving because I did that rowing machine in the sauna. But I want to earn my lunch, and I want to make sure that I'm not just eating because I've been working on the computer after that and I'm kind of bored, so I want to take a break and eat, or I'm actually really hungry. You see, these are the things that the brain plays jokes on us, and that's what I call it. It's like a joke. Because to me, the ego, it's not really the enemy per se, because I want to accept it. I just know it's like the little kid part of me that always wants to try to, do mean things to me. It's that mischievous little kid that's wanting to play jokes on me all the time and doesn't understand that it's hurting somebody. Maybe it's that person that doesn't have the emotional capabilities to be able to understand the words that they're saying is very hurtful. You can get a teenager that does that. They're just trying to get a laugh. They don't care if it hurts somebody or not, right? Or a bully. Well, that's my ego. My ego tries to bully me constantly. It does. It says what type of person I am. And a lot of times it's not a good person. It's like, I can't believe you. You should just, why are you doing this? Why don't you just go relax and do this? Who cares about that person? They're a blank, blankety blank. So just don't worry about that and go do this. So it's this fear. And in the fear, there's this constant, not depression. It can lead to that because I've had bouts of depression. But my depression, and I've talked about this before, is just me having self-pity. It's me putting myself at the center of the universe and then constantly thinking about what I'm lacking, what people's done unto me. It's just a ton of self-pity and judgment to myself and to others. So I can recognize that and be like, oh, you're just playing self-pity role. And that will stop me from going down the depression. But I used to have really dark, depressive, sometimes I couldn't even get out of bed type of a thing. It led to homelessness and all kinds of stuff. And you guys have heard my story on that. But for me, whenever I look at this ego that's stepping up and wanting this Wall-E type comfort, I know, and this is the self-awareness podcast, so I know that I have to talk to it. And I have to let it know where I'm at. And I have to self-aware leadership. I have to lead it. So it's not necessarily ego is my enemy. It's ego is this little sarcastic, kind of funny sometimes, mean little kid that I need to lead. And I'm fine with that. I need it because the ego can kind of help me with my self-awareness. It helps me realize what I need to do and when I need to do it, because I need to go opposite of that. Just lay in bed. Why are you getting up at 5:20 to go to the gym? You work from home. You don't need to get up at 5:20. But I know if I get up early, even though I work from home, and I go to the gym, I can have gym time before everybody else starts slacking me and emailing me and bugging me, texting me and calling me. All of those things start to happen if I get up late. So if I go to the gym, I can have my me time. For me, I can put myself first, and I can also not just put myself first, have uninterrupted time. I can do something super hard. So the rest of the day, guess what? It's all easy. The hardest thing I did was go to the gym. The hardest thing I did was do that cardio session. There's nothing that hard all day long. Writing an email out, using ChatGPT for it, that's like a hack, still having fun with that. So I know I got up and I accomplished the hardest thing that I'm going to do all day, and I did it. Just now, I did it. Now I can go make a big salad, go make a sandwich, whatever I'm going to make, whatever I want to eat, I'm going to look in the fridge and know that I earned it. I worked out really hard, and I did a podcast. And I got majority of my work done already, and it's late morning. It's perfect. See, these are the things that you have to do to gain clarity. Because a lot of times what people do is when you're making your ego the enemy and then you're just fighting it all the time, there's no clarity there at all. So I don't want to have a long podcast and drown this out. I just want you to accept your ego, understand what it is, make a clarity caricature of your ego. Spell it out, write it out, whatever you need to do, visualize it. And so, okay, this is a part of me. It's going to stick around for a long time. I need to be self-aware on it. So this is who I am. And then once you gain what that ego looks like, visualize it, everything. Once you get, then you can recognize it, because that's not the real you. The ego is not the real you. The higher self is the real you. And that higher self, to me, this is my spiritual practice, that higher self is eternal, has ancient wisdom, and has been around a long time. So I can rely on my higher self, and it has the wisdom and the knowledge and everything that I need internally. I don't need anything externally. Yes, I read books. Yes, I gain a lot of spiritual wisdom from reading all different types of religions. Yes, I love all that. That's great. But really meditating and getting in to my higher self and asking it to reveal itself, to show what needs to be done, what I need to accomplish. I'll talk to my higher self about my ego. I'll be like, hey, these little mind tricks the ego keeps trying to play, whether it's me wanting to judge someone, be angry instead of loving, be like a black hole. My ego likes to be like a black hole where it's just absorbing and just imploding and absorbing everything. But you're not going to have, I'm done after this. I see so many young people that are depressed, having mental health issues, and their life is way too easy. The hardest thing that they have had in their life was, and I've said this before, is their Starbucks coffee was, not done right, or Uber Eats, brought cold fries, and then that ruins their whole day. They don't do anything hard. There's no inspiring journey, the hero's journey. There has to be a dragon that you slay. There has to be something that you have to go for. And that's by once you find your passion and then you understand your ego and you gain clarity on it, then you can move in that direction with discipline. That's what it's about, guys. So I encourage you, practice these self-aware, ego-revealing, passion-driven life living, and don't focus on the depression. Don't focus on what you're feeling in the moment. Don't give in to that. Understand it's just the ego and the mind trying to manipulate you for comfort. But comfort's never done anything. That's the C word. Comfort has never done anything great. Anytime you see somebody succeed in life and do something great, it's them getting uncomfortable. It's them following their passion. It's them in full service, not focusing on the ego, not focusing on themselves, getting into flow, getting into higher self, and affirming it and just going at 110%.
Thank you for tuning in to the Self-Aware Leader Podcast with host Jason Rigby. We hope this episode has inspired you to unleash your full potential and embrace your inner leadership. By expanding your consciousness, you can transform your mind, body, and soul and become the remarkable leader you were always meant to be. If you found this episode valuable, please share it with your loved ones and help us expand our community. Thank you for listening, and we look forward to having you join us again on the Self-Aware Leader Podcast.